first glance, this animation looks pretty simple, but one small detail made this project much more challenging than I expected. In this video, I'll show you the entire process, from the first ideas and 3D modeling to animation, scene composition, materials, and the final render. Whenever I start a new project, I rarely have a finished idea in mind. Most of the time, it begins as a series of experiments. I try different shapes, move parts around, delete things, add new ones, and gradually the concept starts to take shape. That's why I always begin by building the main frame, which becomes the foundation for the entire mechanism. Surprisingly, modeling isn't the most time-consuming part. Most of the work goes into adjusting every single piece until everything feels balanced. Sometimes moving a part by just a few millimeters can completely change how the whole composition looks. It's those tiny adjustments that make the final result feel complete. Once the frame was finished, it was finally time for the part I enjoy the most, animation. At first, I wanted to choose the starting point of the movement myself, but it quickly became clear that because of the way the motion path worked, that approach simply wasn't possible. Instead, I had to build the animation around the curve itself. It may sound like a small detail, but these are the things that usually take the longest. Making something move isn't difficult. Making it feel natural is. If the acceleration or slowdown feels even slightly off, your eyes notice it immediately. To make the movement feel more alive, I use a noise modifier on the keyframes. It adds subtle fading vibrations that make collisions and small bounces feel much more real. It's one of those details that most people won't consciously notice, but it makes a huge difference in the final animation. As the mechanism started coming together, I began thinking about the overall composition. My original idea was to build the scene around ancient Greek ruins, with white columns and stone architecture. It looked interesting at first, but the more I worked on it, the more I realized that the columns were stealing attention from the mechanism itself. Eventually, I decided to remove them and keep only the elements that actually improved the composition. And sometimes removing something is a better design choice than adding more. And that's when I ran into the biggest problem of the entire project. I noticed that one section of the animation looked completely unnatural. The frustrating part was that the issue wasn't obvious at all. It took several attempts and quite a bit of experimenting before I finally figured out what was causing it and found a solution that looked right. Since I was applying materials as I built the scene, some objects were already textured at this stage. But before moving on to the final materials, I wanted to show the composition in its clean form. To be honest, the composition took much longer than I expected. My goal was to create something minimalistic, clean, and visually calm in a scene where every object feels like it belongs exactly where it is. I hope that feeling comes across in the final result. Clean up a few small details that still catch my Here's the final animation. If you have an idea for the next mechanism, let me know in the comments. I might build one of your suggestions in the next video. And if you enjoyed watching how these animations come together, consider subscribing. There are plenty more projects on the way.